Every week we gather as a church family to worship, to learn, to grow, and to serve. At the heart of it all is something deeper, something that reflects God's heart, giving. Our board of elders is called to shepherd the church, not just in teaching and prayer, but in helping steward the resources that God has entrusted to us. God's word tells us that giving is an act of worship. It's how we participate in God's mission in our community and around the world. It's who we are called to be, a generous people reflecting a generous God. Whether it's helping people and families in need, supporting missionaries, or investing in the next generation, every gift matters. Over the next few weeks, we'll hear one of our elders share their story on how giving as an act of worship has impacted their life and the lives of those around them. Thank you for being a church that gives faithfully, joyfully, and sacrificially. Together, we're building something eternal.
I grew up in church. My parents went to church. My sisters and my brother, we all went. I was able to see my parents give from a young age. And experience that and be blessed by the faithfulness of my parents' giving. We weren't a family that was very well off, but we never wanted for anything. God always took care of us. We never went lacking without anything. All our needs were met, and I'm so thankful that I had parents that were faithful in that respect, in respect to giving. And I would love to sit here and tell you like, oh, because of that example that they set for me, that, you know, I jumped in when I became an adult and I gave full force, ready to follow that example. But I found out very quickly there's a difference between watching someone else give and being blessed by that and then actually doing it yourself. I'm at a way different place than I was when I was a young adult, but there was times where I held that money tight and I was like, Lord, I've seen what you can do, but at the same time, if I give this money, it's going to make things really tight around here. I saw where like I didn't give, I kept that money, and then at the end of the month I was like, man, what on earth happened? I budgeted everything exactly how I was supposed to, and here I am coming up short, and then I would look back and I was like, didn't give this month. But the Lord used that. He used that to push me in the right direction. He used that to push me to be the leader of my family that I needed to be. It started with a little step of faith. Like I didn't jump in and say, here's everything by faith, but I had to give a little bit. And when I did that, it was just amazing the things that the Lord would bless with. When the Lord sees your obedience, He rewards it with blessing. He did it for me time and time again. And He's a gracious and loving God that every time that I have taken that step in faith in giving what He has called me to, like, it's no match what He gives back to me. But man, when you start following God, especially in giving, like it's so worth it. The feeling that you have when you see the money that you give, that God doesn't need from us. He doesn't need us to give the money. Everything is His, but He gives us that opportunity to partner with Him. And I'm able to see, you know, the events of the church host, sending kids to camp, having VBS here, and to be a part of that, like beyond the financial blessing that I've seen in return, like that spiritual return on investment that I see with what the Lord's doing with the money here is, I can't comprehend it. It blows my mind that the Lord wants us to partner with Him in that way. I sit here, you know, coming from a legacy of parents who gave faithfully, and I hope that I'm setting that same legacy for my children. I pray that for anyone else who's on the verge of giving, that you would just take that step of faith. God is going to walk with you every step of the way, and He's done that with me and with my family, and it's just been the most awesome thing in my life.
If you want to give, you can give online. It's very easy. It's personally how I prefer to do it. I know there's lots of people who would prefer to write a check. You can write a check and make it payable to Odessa Bible Church, or you can give cash. We have boxes at the back of the sanctuary where you can drop them off every week, or as you see fit, you can drop it off at the church. We appreciate you as a body. Over the last 2 years, we've done a wonderful job of giving. And so even though we have fallen a little bit behind this year, we would just still encourage you to consider what does that look like for you. So thank you.